Hello everyone, welcome to SketchaLona episode 47. Good morning everyone, it's Sunday. Just heading off to my new favorite Sunday spot to grab a little breakfast and meeting up with some friends and buy bear gifts, things that were left behind by my by another friend. For this one, some dresses, just have to hand them over. Want to show off my Sagrada Familia drawings. You know, all in all, I think it's going to be a nice little meetup. The only downer is this Sunday is that I gotta work. So some of my friends from Colombia are gonna pay us a visit. And because of my finances for the last summer, I couldn't take them up on the offer to go traveling through Europe, particularly Eastern Europe. But that doesn't stop me from at least meeting up with them in one place. I should be able to pull that off. And then with the luck I had, well, with my flatmate moving out, and then the luck I had last week with new people, finding new people and having them moved in, the deposits and whatnot, I am definitely heading over to Amsterdam. Oh, that's green. Good. So yeah. Oh, don't trip on anything. So yeah, but in order to get a day off, because the friends, I thought they were gonna show up on the weekend, but they're gonna show up on a Sunday in Amsterdam, and then Monday and Tuesday. And of course, I have to work during the week. So I offered to take them up on working this Sunday, because there's something going on in the other office in the other country. So I'll pick up today, and then I'll get that Monday off. So I only have to beg for the Tuesday off. Let's see how that goes. But that's kind of the situation this weekend. And yeah, things have been going well with the new flatmates. We're settling into a little routine, and they really seem to get on, which is awesome. I like them too. It's fuzzy. Just wipe the screen. So things have been a little busy, bonding, you know, getting to know each other. But overall, it's a very pleasant little household in the making, you know. My previous flatmate was okay selling her TV that she left behind, so we're gonna buy the TV of her. So the living room is taking place, and yeah, just little things, you know, just them getting to know the neighborhood. It's fun. It's been really fun. And on top of that, I have been finding the time to do my art, of course. My little vlog about living in the city and showing you what's going on in my sketchbook. So without further ado, I'll show you what's been happening. This week, I've primarily been drawing. Oh, guess I have to speak up now. This week I've been drawing a little bit of Silicon Valley, because cleaning up and moving rooms, I came across my drawings from last year, and so I had a lot of fun last year drawing some sitcoms. I like, you know, facial expressions, some of the characters. Some of them came out alright. Some of them, now a year later, I realized like what I have to do in order to make those drawings work better, and most of them have to do with clear outlines for the faces, and instead of just rendering something into existence, especially since I'm going for more comic book style, sometimes it's just easier just to outright, you know, draw a big black shape, or just draw a very clear outline. You know, it's perfectly fine. But I see that now a lot more, especially as I'm moving away from, I wouldn't say realism, but like, you know, the very, you know, like drawing in pencil and sketching and that kind of rendering, that kind of technique. I'm moving more towards ink, which is a perfect segue for Inktober. So I'm not really doing Inktober, but I did kind of get drawn into it, so to speak, no pun intended. seeing all the amazing artwork on display over on Instagram and a little bit on Twitter, and like all of you guys watching this, a lot of you are heavily into Inktober, and so yeah, so I got a little carried away myself one evening and decided to pick up a couple of brushes, and just because I bought these brushes and I never really used them. You have that problem, you buy stuff and then it just lies there. I tend to do that with books actually, like, oh, it's an amazing book, onto the pile. So yeah, so I had these brushes, these dry brushes, these really like lots of random hair sticking out brushes, and I really wanted to have a go with them because I figured, like, if I can just get some nice effects, I can, you know, cross-pollinate this into Photoshop and just turn these into digital brushes, you know, just to kind of see how I can get that workflow between, like, erase the boundaries between digital and traditional in that way, because I've been so obsessed with traditional and I want to get back into digital a little bit more. You know, so this will be like a fun little thing on the side, like, let's try out these brushes, move them into Photoshop, see how I can integrate them with the ones that I've been using, which are my digital versions of the Staedtler pens. So that's kind of what I've been doing. So I made a little Inktober doodle, if you will, that I posted on my Twitter, and then I kind of fell into the whole, like, how do they do certain techniques? So I started watching a lot of Jim Lee this week. So the last couple of nights, I've been watching these Twitch streams that he does, drawing Aquaman, drawing Batman, drawing all sorts of DC comic book superhero characters, and of course it's freaking amazing, and like he just talks and draws at the same time super fast, and it's just like comes out fantastic, which makes me, it always kind of makes me wonder, like, why does he even use someone else to ink his own stuff? I guess it's just to save time, because, you know, he makes it look so easy. But one of the things that I noticed watching these last couple of streams is just some techniques he uses with toilet paper. So for the backgrounds, he just smears a lot of ink on, which is cool, and then he just makes that look cool. And then he just goes over it with whiteout to redraw what he had underneath. Like, it's all very loose and sketchy, and I'm like, I want that whiteout. But I've got white paint and I've got a pencil. It's just, I've never been happy with the thickness of the paint, so I need to make a bit more effort to use that whiteout technique, like traditionally speaking, so that, you know, I can just have fun on a original piece before I put that one up, possibly to sell in the future, and then clean it up digitally. Because I think one of the things that I kind of found interesting for myself is that the reason I've stayed away from certain techniques is because I never get to make them look good. Like, they always look really, really messy. And another thing I noticed this week, because I hadn't touched my this particular bottle of ink for so long, was that it wasn't very black anymore. I kind of needed to give it a little shake, but it took me like a couple of tries before I realized like what was up with the ink. So watching these streams made me, I mean, this is really silly, but it just made me realize that his drawings are far from perfect and have all that messiness and like different shades of black, and like they're not, you know, what you see then afterwards on screen or in print. And of course that's where Photoshop comes out. But then it just kind of made me go like, oh, wait a minute. So the thing that bothers me about my own art, when I try and do that and feel like I'm not doing it right at all, that's actually what it looks like for pros as well. Like, that's not, you know. So yeah, it was just a little fun little moment of awareness, so to speak. Wow. So it's October, and it still feels like spring or fall. This is very nice 25 degrees, but like as soon as you walk out into the sun, it's like, whoa, just get the blast of heat, you know? So, made it at the Sagrada Familia. I don't know if you can see that with all the light. But as you can see, it's tourist central right now. And I think I just got a notification that my friends are here, so I need to go say hello. And I'll get back to you guys in just a little bit. I'm gonna make it. So we just had a very nice little breakfast at the Sagrada Familia with some of my friends from Val, who recounted to me their experiences on that historic day when Catalonia went to the voting booths and the national government decided to put an end to their little insurrection. So, in case you missed last week's episode or have not been paying attention to the news over here in Europe, Catalonia, the state in which Barcelona is the capital of, Catalonia had a referendum concerning independence from the rest of the country, and as you might imagine, the rest of the country has very strong opinions about that. So today, there have been massive demonstrations in the center. We steered clear of that one. But today's demonstrations were not pro-independence. They were pro-unity in Spain. So busloads of people from outside, from all over the country have flooded into Barcelona wearing the Spanish cape as a flag and went out onto the streets. I have yet to find out if there's been any situations because we got to talking about art, about politics, about life, and all sorts of wonderful things, and I now have to run to work because I'm running late. So it's almost 2 o'clock, I'm almost there. And it just so happens that a very good friend of mine from London happens to be in town just for one day today, counting on me being off on my Sunday as I usually am. So that's a shame. So if you're watching this, very sorry. But hopefully next month I'll be in London for a little visit. I'm long overdue after a year and a half, I'd say. But hey, that was my situation, and that has now come to an end. So let the casual traveling begin. So I showed my friends my drawings of the Sagrada Familia, and I explained to them my plans of selling them online. And to give you a little update about that while I'm here before I get to work. So it's a little bit of a milestone for me that I've managed to, like, it's just a really big threshold for me to just present myself online and sell my own stuff. And I know that may seem weird if you've been watching along on this channel for quite some time, but that in itself was quite a milestone for me. But to actually put my own art up, because up until now it's mostly been, you know, people come up to me, like they see me drawing all the time, they basically come up to me for a commission here and there. I've sold art in the past, but it was always in that manner of like, oh, we'd like to involve you in our project, and then they kind of take it from there. I make the art, it's all good. But this whole internet thing that I see so many of people who are watching this do, shows I watch, that's, you know, I've been putting that off for a long time now, so I finally did it. I took some nice pictures of the art and I'm selling it on eBay. And I've been looking at Etsy. Etsy threw a few spanners in the work, wanting my actual details rather than PayPal. I didn't count on that, but that's going to be solved this week. So yeah, really excited about that. And then the only thing is, I'm now at work and I'm gonna have to stop talking. But like, a major thing is, of course, all this fear and worry in the end was of course about nothing because I haven't sold anything. I'm having more luck in person still. I'm having more luck just talking to people and showing people the art and going out on the street and all those things. And so that's been going well. So I'm definitely going to try a little harder in person as well to make actual sales. But in the meantime, learning lots of little things like what works and what doesn't work. You know? Oh, talk to you in a bit. Oh look, I found the moon. So welcome to Monday morning. It's a bit grotesque after coming home so late on a Sunday. Oh, at least I got some art done at work. We watched some movies. It was, I think I did like 4 calls opposed to my usual like 30 something, so that was pretty cool. But yeah. So yes, welcome to my Monday morning commute. I had a question about 2 weeks ago. I failed to answer. It was about what I think of the Alien vs. Predator series. So I guess it's early enough for me to answer that question right now. I love Aliens vs. Predator, but in particular the Dark Horse miniseries from the early 90s, like that 4-part on that desert planet. With a colony and the humans kind of stuck in the middle. I thought that one was particularly awesome. So Maple is from Literally Graphic. She does her little book review thing, and you should check out her channel if you haven't had the chance. But I thought I'd just expand on her question just a little bit and take the movies into account and some more of the comics, because I have fond memories of like those 90s comics where it wasn't just Aliens versus Predator, but they you know, pitted the Terminator against all sorts of foes. We end up with a really awesome Predator versus Batman series, even though that was probably in reverse. So yeah, there were loads of pretty random team-ups going on back then, and it was just really fun reads, even though that could never happen. But they did spark our imaginations to the point that, you know, like the Alien versus Predator movies were rumored for years and desired for years, and then we finally got them, and well, what can we say? They didn't quite live up to our expectations. I actually kind of enjoyed both of them in a B-movie kind of vein, but I think the most offensive thing about both of them at the time was, I don't know how I feel about them now, I haven't seen it for so long, but at the time I thought, you know, like in the first one I really enjoyed the fact that it was in Antarctica. In the second one I'm like, why are they on Earth in this day and age? But you know, as in what if elsewhere type comic, I could kind of get a kick out of it, you know, in the woods. But I think for both of them, what bothered me the most was the fact that the two movie franchises are like R-rated, you know, take themselves very seriously kind of horror films. you know? And these were clearly, for me at the time, clearly aimed to sell toys. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's Aliens versus Predator, and so it was this kind of shift in my mind where I had to realize, like, you know, sometimes you really love something, but then it gets owned by the next generation, and what they want to do with it is not up to you anymore. And isn't that just part of growing up? Even though it really hurts and sucks. So yeah, I hope one day they do it justice and just take that initial 4-part miniseries. That was awesome. Or the second miniseries, which was written by Chris Claremont. I didn't really enjoy the art at the time. I have distinct memories of not liking the art. But I thought the story was really awesome. Like, it was a proper sci-fi epic on Earth with a city in the sky, like on some sort of spaceship, like kind of like in Elysium. And a female predator and a female heroine, you know, having to join forces against this rampant alien infestation, getting out of control, and like the whole like future world that he fleshed out back then was, I have very fond memories of that as well. So yeah, hope you don't mind looking at my face on a Monday morning, or as I came to realize late last night, completely hungover from Friday, because, you know, hangovers last 2 days now. So yeah, my apologies if I looked a bit rough in this video, and the last ones I edited late last night. But yeah, there we go. Hope you guys had a good week. We're about to find out what's happening in this beautiful state. Are they going to declare independence? And after the massive demonstrations we had yesterday, 350,000 people marching in the streets with their little Spanish capes. Yeah. Let me know what you think of the art. Let me know what you think of me going online selling stuff. I'm having a blast, finally having crossed that boundary. And I'll see you guys next week in the next SketchaLona.